Realized in that moment when I attempted suicide was that I actually wasn't afraid to die. I thought I was, but I wasn't. The reality of the fact of the matter was, I was afraid to live. The reason why I'm making the change is because Dan Martell says, the thing that you're called in life to do is tied to the worst thing, I add things, that have ever happened to you. Hey guys, I'm really scared about this one. To be honest, it's so hard to formulate thoughts in this moment. But I have to just punch fear in the face and hit record. We're gonna be making a pivot on the channel today, and the reason for that is I've been feeling an emptiness for quite some time now, and that emptiness is due to the fact that I haven't been willing to speak about what I really need to speak about. And what I mean by that is the things that actually matter. I've been dabbling with this content creation thing for a few weeks now, but I've been exposed to new information, new types of people, and I believe I know what my mission is now, and I'm really petrified to talk about it, because part of me is like, well, just who cares and whatever, doesn't matter, but I'm gonna move forward and do it anyway. And this is going to be the type of content that's going to be put forth in this channel moving forward. You'll notice the name change and the handle description, and it's part of something a lot bigger. The reason why I'm making the change is because Dan Martell says, the thing that you're called in life to do is tied to the worst thing, I add things, that have ever happened to you. And for me, September 22nd, 2022, I attempted to commit suicide. And the reason for that was for many different reasons. It's not just one. From basically the age of 8 years old up until 27, I just had tremendous amounts of pain, and pain that went unresolved, and pain that drove me to the point where I didn't want to live. And a lot of that pain was due to fear. And to tell the truth, I've been afraid my entire life of almost everything. And what I realized in that moment when I attempted suicide was that I actually wasn't afraid to die. I thought I was, but I wasn't. The reality of the fact of the matter was, I was afraid to live. Because I didn't know what life should look like, what my life could look like. All the ideas that I had built up in my head had completely evaporated. Even in this very moment right now, I'm thinking to myself, like, why am I doing and saying this, you know? Suicide is something that is, like, even blocked off on YouTube. It's this thing where if you look up anything close to the subject, you have to, like, acknowledge that you're gonna be talking about it, and then you have to click please view videos anyway, and they shoot up a message of like, please call the suicide hotline or the help, whatever, or speak to someone. And then you can get access to these videos. And I think part of the reason why I've avoided talking about it is because I know that there's that like extra barrier and that stigma. But I want to be the voice that I didn't have. Sorry. If I could be there for someone, anyone, if I can advise or encourage to help stop someone from getting to that point, then that would be what I'm called to do based on Dan Martell's metric. Because no doubt to get to the point where you don't want to live clearly would be the worst thing that has ever happened to you. And when I first heard him say that, I thought I didn't think of him anything. I thought that was probably pretty accurate. But I struggled to figure out what that was for me. Because, like I said, for majority of my life, I felt an emptiness. I felt unworthiness, utterly afraid of everything. Even the greatest things. Because I didn't believe I could possibly have them, or if I were to obtain them, somehow they would be taken away from me. And it would somehow be my fault. And the thing about fear and making fear-based decisions is when you're living in fear, all the things that you're afraid of come true in the worst way. Because when you make fear-based decisions, it's always self-sabotaging. And so the very things that you're afraid of become your reality, not because you want it to. In fact, it would be the absolute opposite of your desire, but that's just how fear works. That's how the devil uses fear, is that he convinces you that the worst possible thing is going to happen, and so then you make your decisions in hopelessness, you make your decisions in hate or in indifference, you make your decisions in a way that create the perfect environment for your nightmares to become reality, even though it's not what you want to happen, because you're afraid of them happening to you. And so what we're going to be doing moving forward is building a community of people who either are living in fear currently, are in the transition from living in fear to living fearlessly, which is in truth and in love and in hope. Something that I think can only be found in God, and I don't mean that religiously. I just think that if there is evil in this world, then logically, through linear reasoning, there must also be good. And as much as I've witnessed evil, and am perhaps even in moments been evil myself, I have also witnessed good. And a lot of good things have happened to me too. I've met great people. The greatest among them is my wife. There's no greater person on earth than her. She is the highlight of a really long story. But I want people to know, I want you to know, there is good, there is hope. That even if you're afraid right now, there is hope for you. And there is a life on the other side, a life that can be built that's so beautiful. And it's completely transrational. It makes no sense. It based on circumstances, it makes no sense. But it's the greatest possible life that you could live on the other side of your despair. And if I can help it, I will want to make sure that no one ever has to get to that point ever again. I was texting my best friend today. One of the greatest people I ever met. And I met him before this, but we really got close over the years. And he was one of the few people that checked in on me during this time. And I was telling him today that I really don't know any other way to move forward. My capacity to think how I used to is gone. Because I've been consuming a lot of new content, self-improvement, go-getters, business owners, people who have a mission and have stayed on mission, missional men. And I've read a lot of books. And I'm reading a lot of books currently. And yeah, I just can't go back. I'll never be the same. When you have new information into your mind, your brain literally rewires itself. And through that first, I believe it enters into the soul. It has to resonate for it to take root. The biblical term for it is called bearing witness in your spirit. But at the same time, that physical component of it, I think it has to take root in the soul, and then the brain can then remap and recreate and turn into something better than it was. I mean, it's biology, right? Evolutionary biology. Discard what doesn't work and build upon what does, what's new. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And I want you to know, if no one loves you right now, I love you. If no one hears you right now, I hear you. If no one sees you right now, I see you. You are not alone. Ever. And this channel is going to be dedicated to being a voice for the voiceless. And remember that it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. You have value. You have value because you are a living soul inhabiting a physical body. There's something that goes beyond the flesh. And even if you don't believe in the divine, or you have a distaste for the word called God, trust me, I understand. But you are worth far more than what you currently believe. And I will work to make sure that you know it. Because I'm an excavator of hearts. That's who I am. And I know now my vocation is to make sure that all of you, whether or not you've dealt with suicidal ideation before or not, every single person who would watch this video, there is good. There is good in you. There is good in the world. Life can be good. Even if you believe it to be beyond your reach, which I did for many years of my life. I love you guys. We'll be talking again very soon.